Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Yeonni. I've been sort of realizing the past few videos that the stark white background is doing nothing for me. It's making me look so pale. But please bear with me as I'm going through this transition period that I'm actually going to talk a lot more about in today's video. I'm moving in a month or so, there's a lot going on over there that you don't need to see or want to see, so I've kind of parked myself in the corner, so bear with me. Thank you very much. Today I was like, let's talk about transitions and what this specific one coming up has brought up for me, and specifically this concept of having learned lessons from life, and then sometimes life or the universe or the higher power, whatever it may be that you ascribe to, it brings up that lesson again. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, in case any of you are going through something like this or you have gone through it. So I shared in my extensive video last week, feel free to watch that if you want more details, but I matched. So I'll be moving in a month or so, and it's brought up a lot in me, and I'm like, what is going on? Usually when I'm feeling these type of things, I like to make a video to kind of share with y'all some of the reflections I've been having, things I've been doing to cope, things I've been noticing and learning. I don't know if I read this in a book, if I heard it as a song lyric. I don't know if someone said this to me, if my therapist said this to me. I am not sure of the source. But the phrase, "we contain multitudes," has been really like ringing in my head, because I have been containing and oscillating back and forth between so many different emotions about what this transition means to me, what it's bringing up for me. Firstly, I'm feeling obviously like a lot of gratitude, right? Because after 6 months of back-to-back rejections, being told you're great but not great enough, the idea that I finally got to match and I get to go to a really wonderful training site and I'll be able to get what I want, the type of training that I want for my last year of my psychology doctoral journey. So I feel a lot of gratitude for that. And I feel a lot of sadness because I'm leaving my beloved New York City. Without getting too much into the history of everything, I went through a lot in my life where I kind of fought my way back to New York City, and I've moved around a lot. And this city was really the first place where I felt like I want to call this place my home. I could see myself living here long term. And I've just come to really love the city, the culture, the people, the strangers on the subway, but also, of course, my community, my friends, my family, folks that I've come to really love here in New York City. So the idea of leaving it, albeit only a year, but leaving it is bringing up a lot of sadness in me. And then on top of that, another emotion that I'm feeling is, I think, fear. I'm afraid of what this next year is going to look like. Because like I said, how I envision myself is I'm in this New York life with all my people and my routines and what I'm used to, and I'm being plucked out of this environment and dropped into a completely new foreign environment. And the idea of that is kind of freaking me out. And then the emotion that comes up after I acknowledge that emotion is I start to feel a bit of shame. Shame is one of those big emotions, right? Shame, guilt. Often when we have emotions of like, I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel angry, shame and guilt can really be underneath those emotions. And I realized I was feeling a lot of shame because after kind of thinking about it for a while, I'm feeling shame because I'm telling myself that I'm afraid and feeling sad and all these things because I don't trust myself. And trusting myself has been something I've been actively working on, a lesson that life has taught me in a really grand way back in 2023 when I went through a major life shift where everything stemmed from like, Yeonni, you need to trust yourself that you're going to be okay. And starting from 2023, I kind of felt like a phoenix that came up out of the ashes of a lot of personal calamities I was experiencing at the time, and trusting myself is what got me through so much. Not only got me through pain and suffering and struggle, when I learned to trust myself, I learned to love myself. And the trust and the love started intermingling in this beautiful way where it became a foundation for me to also flourish in a way, like flourish in my friendships, flourish in my partnership with my partner, flourish at school professionally with faculty, folks I'm working with, flourish even in therapy where I'm working with patients, where the hardships that I went through, the lessons that I learned, and learning to trust myself, leading to all these tangible ways that my life changed for the better. I became a better therapist because I had the empathy. Instead of being like, that sucks for you, often when my patients would share things that they were going through, I knew in my heart, I've been there. I felt for them. I sat with them in the sadness and the grief and all of the difficult emotions. That empathy didn't have to be like forced. I just felt it. It was there in the room because I could connect with folks. And not only learning in here, but even despite all the fears and concerns and, not really trusting myself to trust myself, if that makes sense, I acted, made decisions, changed behaviors in ways kind of like fake it till you make it. I was like, if I were to trust myself in this moment, what decision would I make? What would I say to this person during this argument? What would I do in this moment? And I've been able to build this beautiful life here in New York City because at the core, I learned to trust myself. And unfortunately, that wasn't something I learned as a child or growing up. It took me some time to get there, but when I was burning and going through a lot of difficult hardships, I really felt like that phoenix where I rose from the ashes of everything I've experienced in the past, because I was able to trust that I deserved better, trust that I am worthy, trust that everything will be okay. And then I started to love myself. Really beautiful, right? Even as I share this with you, I feel a little like emotional and like some tears coming up. All that to say, we were on shame. I started to feel shame because I'm like, wait, I'm noticing a feeling that feels very familiar. I haven't felt in a while, and I was not trusting myself. I was not loving myself these past few weeks, past few days, honestly, when the idea of this transition is every day is becoming more of a reality. I'm, calling apartments, calling moving companies, listing things on Facebook Marketplace. I started to feel ashamed because I was like, girl, you've learned this lesson before, right? Clearly from my story, the joys and the payoff of trusting myself and loving myself. And how could I not trust myself again? I started blaming myself. I started being ashamed, being like, you already learned this lesson. Like, life has already taught this to you. Why don't you get it? Why are you scared? Like, you'll be fine. Like, you're so weak. And these sort of like negative internal thoughts started attacking me. And I just started feeling a lot of shame. I started feeling really down. So all that to say, I'm not sitting here being like, I figured that all out, so let me tell you how I did that. I'm going through it currently, but some things that have been helping me is realizing it happens. Sometimes you'll go through calamities in life, really hard lessons, and you'll be trusting yourself, you'll get back up from the ashes, you fall back 7 times, get up 8th, all that stuff, right? You'll be resilient, you'll have the tenacity, you'll do it, right? And then sometimes life just happens, life just lifes in the way that it does, and more scary things will come up. There will be more instances and times more chapters in your life where you will have to relearn that lesson again. And for me, in my example, this lesson of trusting myself. And just because this lesson comes up, I have been learning and telling myself, it doesn't mean that I did something wrong. I'm not being punished. Sometimes my brain can do that where I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do wrong? And that is not really a foundation. That is not really a place where we can be kind to ourselves and trust ourselves. So I've been really telling myself, just because certain lessons come up again in life, let's say a breakup, let's say a friendship breakup, let's say 6 months of rejections as I just went through, it doesn't mean that you're not worthy of kindness. It doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you're being punished. I think that line of reasoning has been really comforting to me and helping me to show myself kindness and grace through a tough transition. Another thing I've been doing is not pushing down all of these emotions. Sometimes I want to, right? Like, I'm a very emotion first person. Emotions are treasures at the end of the day. I'm a therapist. Like, can you blame me? But therapists are also human beings, and I realize I want to push down shame because it hurts to feel it. So I've been letting myself feel everything. If I'm feeling ashamed and I'm kind of wanting to turn that into anger and blaming myself, I kind of cognitively come back to, why am I feeling this shame? Where is it coming from? How is it affecting me? Is it affecting my behaviors and decisions in different ways? And if I'm feeling sad, where does that come from? It's like, oh, it's because I feel so connected to New York City. I feel so connected to the people here. Being alone is scary. So fear, sadness, shame, and also just because I feel these feelings doesn't mean that the gratitude doesn't exist. So when I feel gratitude, I let myself feel it. Oh, thank God I matched to a wonderful site. And also where I'm moving, I'm doing a lot of research about this place. It sounds great. Very different from New York City. But as I accept all these emotions, as I tell myself this is not a punishment, this is not because I'm lacking in any type of way, I'm also telling myself this is an opportunity for growth. In my life that I've lived so far, there have been many chapters of hardships. Personally, professionally, sometimes both of the above at the same time. And every time I've been able to push through, to trust myself, love myself, to act in ways that aligns with who I feel like I am, I have learned so much through those hardships. And yes, this is a hardship. It is hard for me. And also I know that I will learn so much. It is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to get to know myself a lot more. I'm already doing it. I haven't even left New York yet. I know that I will learn so much through this year. And I also know that I will make the best of it, because why would I want to suffer for a year? I know that a way that I cope is doing my research and being like, are there any ceramic studios in the area? Where's the closest cafe I can go to on weekends? What does downtown look like? And like, how can I make videos during this year? That'll be really fun for me. I've already started making plans, which has already helped me feel a lot better. It is okay to be frustrated. It is okay for all of these things to come up when there's a big life transition happening. It's normal. And while honoring all of the previous things that I've said, I am trying to move forward with compassion towards myself and really trying to be extra thoughtful and mindful of my time here and the time that I will have there. And I think what's most important is I'm really trying to trust myself, that the lessons that I learned in the past aren't just gone. If anything, I'm building upon them. I'm just fine-tuning that self-trust a little bit more, fine-tuning that self-love a little bit more through this opportunity rather than a punishment. We've gone through hardships before and we'll get through them again. Those are some or many of my thoughts that I've been having recently about this transition, and I know for a fact I'm not the only one who have experienced hardships or going through a transition. So I hope that this video was helpful in any way in maybe helping you to maybe kind of reframe what you might be experiencing right now, or maybe helping you to feel a little less alone in what you're experiencing right now, maybe encouraging you to be a little kinder to yourself as you're going through a rough transition, maybe encouraging you to show yourself some compassion and grace for how you're handling things and saying that you're doing the best you can, because aren't we all? We're all just trying the best we can. So all that to say, thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any thoughts, or are you going through transitions right now? Or is life teaching you the same lesson over and over again? What has that been like for you? Thank you so much for watching this video, for checking in with me real time on things that I'm going through. Yeah, I hope you take care of yourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, in all of those very important ways. And I will see you in the very next video. Bye.